For 3 decades, the Humpty Dumpty Foundation has been raising vital funds to provide essential and life-saving medical equipment to around 500 hospitals right across Australia, with 63% going to remote and regional communities. Sky News host Janie Seale spoke to the founder and chairman of Humpty's, Paul Francis, earlier on this week.
Thank you so much for joining us. So, around 30 years you've been running this amazing organisation. Tell us a bit about it and how much money you've raised so far.
I run a tennis business on the lower North Shore in Sydney, and we thought we'd just get some of the players together to help out Royal North Shore Hospital and provide medical equipment for the paediatric ward. We were smart enough right in the beginning to not give the money to the hospitals. We took requests and then we would donate the equipment to them. And that's just grown. We've had, now it's over 500 hospitals across Australia. We've raised roughly $100 million. The most important thing now is that we've got approximately each year about 500 pieces of paediatric medical equipment going out to hospitals around Australia, and we hear daily from families and doctors and nurses what a difference the support of our donors is making.
Unbelievable, the amount of money and the time and what you and your team have done. 28% of the population, I believe, live in regional and remote communities, and we often hear that they feel like they're second-class citizens. But I love one of your quotes on your website: every Australian child deserves access to healthcare, no matter where they live.
Yep, and that's not happening. And it means that, a child that gets sick, the family ends up being quite often separated because they can't be looked after in the hospital that's closest to them. So they end up going to metropolitan hospitals. The families are separated. That causes a lot of stress, and history will tell us that the best results come when the families are together. So we've just got to work harder. Our governments have got to recognise this. Every state government is talking about getting more doctors and nurses out into rural Australia. But if you're a doctor and nurse, if you're going to go out into a rural town, you want to know that that hospital has got the equipment so you can do your job properly. So it's, you don't want to be sort of sitting there in a rural town knowing that you've got a child that may well die, but if you're back in metropolitan Sydney or Brisbane, etc., you could save that child's life. That's just not good enough, and we can make that sort of difference if we all work together.
So are you satisfied with the current government and what they're doing?
Look, I think it's at state level we've had great support, whether it be Liberal or Labor. The new Health Minister, Brian Park, has followed on supporting us in New South Wales. We've got to get that support across the board in the other states, and then we've got to talk to the federal government. Everybody wants to see the gap closed. Everybody wants to see the gap closed. But, part of that is making sure that the children and adults, no matter where they live, have a reasonable opportunity of having the doctors and nurses that have the skills and that they have equipment at least reasonably close to their family, not 500 or 600 k's away.
And tell us about the Christmas appeal, because people can donate as little or as much, obviously, as they want. And as you mentioned, the life-saving and essential medical equipment goes a long way. There's a wish list on your website as well. So, yes, tell us about the Christmas appeal.
We take requests from hospitals right across Australia. It goes before our medical subcommittee. It's assessed, and if they approve it, then it goes onto our wish list. And anybody can view that wish list by just going to our website. But at the moment, there'd be over $1 million that's needed from hospitals in every state in Australia. We've got some examples of a ventilator that's needed for Colac Hospital. It's an essential piece of equipment. It's expensive. That's $64,000. Then we've got, heart monitors needed for Dubbo, Orange, Bathurst. They're $18,000. Again, essential pieces of equipment. Shoalhaven, Mildura, they need humidification systems, $4,500. So if people go to our website, they'll see a range of equipment from $1,000 up to whatever. So, but you can make a difference. I think it's so important. People also worry sometimes when they support a charity what happens to their money, how it's used. And in this situation, if you're in a position to buy equipment, you donate that equipment. It's fully tax deductible. Roughly within about 6 weeks, that equipment will be in a hospital of your choice, and it can be plaqued in a family name, a company name. We're getting a lot of people these days plaquing the equipment in memory of their parents. But you can leave a legacy and enjoy that legacy for the rest of your life. And that's what a difference equipment will make. So if you're living in a rural town and you think you'd like to make a difference to your town, and we're getting a lot of people doing that now, they want to put back into the community where they're making a living. So please give us a call at Humpty. We love talking to people, I love chatting to people. So ring Humpty and I'll get back to you and we can talk about how you can help.